They're down to 10. 10. Up to 34. 6 to them, right? All we need to do is 4 more damage to them. Reflection. Wound Reflection plus Warlock class does it, right? I've ever done this in my life. We're gonna have 2 Wound Reflections down. Wound Reflection. Wound Reflection number 2. Do the turn. Reflection triggers. Lose 12. Did we do it? Yeah, we did it. Yes. What a game. All right, we're playing some Commander today. Looking at our opening hand, seeing if we want to keep it. So far, it looks pretty good. Kind of top heavy though. 4 drop, 5 drop, 5 drop, 6 drop. We can surveil on turn 1, see what's on top of our deck. And we have another land. You know, and we do have our Commander, which we can play on turn 3. I think we'll keep, hopefully we'll surveil into something that can either ramp us or give us some card advantage. But if we hit our land drops and we can ramp, this hand is gas, because we can get to the mid-game stuff pretty effectively. But if we don't hit lands and we don't draw any cards, we're kind of stuck. If we get to 4 mana, Twilight Prophet, you know, if we have enough permanents, can start drawing us cards. Not really super dependable, but it's also a flyer, so it can help us trigger Florian just by attacking in if we need to. I think we can get there. I think, you know, Florian provides card advantage as well, as long as we, you know, get down some of our pieces. So hopefully we find one on the top. Let's see who we're playing against. We're playing against Goro-Goro, so mono red aggro essentially. Iroas got a victory. Really hard commander to play against. Kind of underrated. Creatures you control have menace and then prevent all damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures. So it's kind of like you just keep attacking every turn. So 2 aggro decks. And then we got the Fara Sky's Blade Angel deck, or I guess Flying Matters deck. All right, well, we drew a land. That's good. It's also untapped technically. I guess we just surveil like we talked about. So now we don't need to hit a land. We can look for gas. Rankle. Rankle's a very good card, but I really don't need another 4-drop in my hand, so I think we're just gonna have to put that in the graveyard. Hurts my soul a little because Rankle's so good. I might even, like, if I could, trade Twilight Prophet for Rankle at this point in the game because it's just so good early on. Twilight Prophet's better later on when we have permanence and we're starting to, we have the City's Blessing and we can start drawing cards and you know, pinging people's life totals, but that's a little bit far away at this point. So I would trade these 2 if I could, but I cannot. So we're just gonna have to put Rankle in the graveyard and hope we draw into something more relevant. But it looks like this Deadly Tempest could be important because we are playing against essentially 3 creature decks. What is this? Other creatures you control have flying. Other creatures you control with flying have indestructible. Yeah. It won't be good. Deadly Tempest won't be good against that deck, but if we get it out before Sephara gets down, then we're okay. Soul Ring's nice. Okay. Okay, that's great. That's great. So now we can... I wish I knew I was going to draw a Soul Ring. I might have kept Rankle, but I guess we'll just play the Soul Ring. And then is there anything else I can do? Not really. So I guess we'll Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, no. I don't have any mana to pay for Esper Sentinel. I could have done this in a different order. I could have gotten Verdant Catacombs down, untapped, and you know, fetch for a land that came into play untapped is what I mean, so I could pay for that. Nah, not really worth it. We'll go ahead and Verdant Catacombs. Let's go get another dual land. We don't have anything we can play. We can't even play Florian because we don't have anything that's double colorless and a mana pip. Let's go get Smoldering Marsh because we have Blood Crypt still in the deck, so if we need to get it later on, we can, and it can come into play untapped on its own. And then we'll just tap this to be polite because we have no play that we can make right now. So not a bad turn 2. You know, turn 3 we're walking into a 5 mana situation, right? Pretty good. That was probably the best draw we could have had. I forgot Soul Ring's in the deck, but that was probably the best draw we could have had there, given our hand. Wow, they didn't play anything. Okay. Interesting. They also left their mana up. I don't know They're leaving up removal? Maybe they want a Fountain Port? 2 mana sacrifice a token? They don't have a token to sacrifice? What is this? Oh yeah, monologue tax. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, you create a treasure. Pretty good. That's also nice. We'll tuck that away over here. Let's go ahead and play the Sundering Eruption untapped. We'll pay the 3 life. So this is a tricky spot because we could play our commander, but then it's not really mana efficient because no matter which way we tap this, we're gonna have extra mana that we can't use. We can't do something like play our commander and hold the Rakdos Charm. We don't have the right tips for that in our lands and mana rocks. So I think the best play, honestly, is just to get down Balor. It's a 5/5 flyer, right? And it has a bunch of different abilities that are kind of applicable right now. We have to target a different opponent for each of these abilities if we choose them. But we can make opponent draw 3 cards and then discard 3 cards at random. We can make an opponent sacrifice a non-token artifact, so we could like make this player sacrifice their Esper Sentinel, or this player sacrifice their Metallic Mimic. And then we can deal damage to target player equal to the number of cards in their hand. So like both these players right now have 7 cards, and not to mention the 5 damage if we're attacking with Balor, right? So we can do 12 damage with Balor and like super trigger Florian. I think that's the best play. We maximize our mana, we get down a really good blocker. It's a flyer, so we can basically attack anyone at this point in the game. We also had Nahib the Eternal, but it works better if we already have pieces down to give us the extra mana. Just by itself, it doesn't really give us extra mana unless we attack in. And since it doesn't fly or have evasion, I just can't guarantee we're not gonna get blocked by someone. It does have Afflict 3, so it does, if it gets blocked, it will technically make the player lose 3 life. But I think Balor is gonna do a lot more damage, literally and metaphorically, than Nahib the Eternal right now. And we can play Nahib later and get all the mana off that. I think right now, this is the deck that I'm most worried about, because giving all their stuff indestructible is... While we do have spells in the deck that can get around that, it's very hard to get to... there's only a couple of spells in our deck that can get around it, so... And I'm not confident mono red can do it, and I'm not... I mean, I guess this guy's white, so they might have exile-based removal, but they're both creature decks, so a lot of the times creature decks don't pack a lot of board wipes in their decks because it goes against their strategy, right? They're trying to populate the board, not depopulate it. I still think you should run Wraths in creature decks and just run more protection for your board so they become one-sided Wraths, but not everyone thinks that way. So I kind of have to assume that these guys aren't going to have an answer to this, and if this comes down and no one has an answer, then this player basically by default wins the game. And they're doing a good job of ramping. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're just a couple of treasures away from casting it. Kind of scary. Okay, we draw a bounce land. What can we do? We can, attack with Balor. We can play Nahib the Eternal and get a bunch of red mana, but then we have nothing to do with it. So is it worth it? Not really. Not at this point. We could play our commander, but then we'd only have... Our mana is a little awkward right now because we'd have to either tap all of these and only have colorless mana left over, or tap these 3, something like that, and then only have 1 mana left over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Twilight Prophet, we're not quite to there yet. I think the best play is just to try get Florian down, do as much damage as possible, see if we can cast something with Soul Ring. We haven't made our land drop yet, so maybe we can play a land. Go to combat. Who has the most life? Well, this player has a life-linking 7/7 commander, so I think that's who I'm going to attack. And like I kind of already explained, to me they're the biggest threat. Put this on the stack. Yep. Okay, so the target opponent that draws 3 and discards 3 at random will be you. The player who sacrifices a non-token artifact... Oh, actually, no. Hold on. Let's redo that. Put it on the stack. Select all 3. We'll do you as the player that draws discards. We'll do you that sacks the non-token artifact, and you that takes the damage to the face. The reason we did it that way is because we want them to sack this Esper Sentinel or their Arcane Signet, right? Either way, that's good. This player has the most cards in hand, so we want them to take the damage. And this player, we don't really have a reason to make them draw a discard, but it is funny, so might as well do it. And they only have 5 cards in hand, so it might make them discard all their lands or all their ramp, you know? Okay, Florian trigger. Once damage is done. Okay, we'll always yield to Florian's trigger. We're gonna look at 12 cards, so that's nice. See, we did hit an artifact that we can play. Sword of the Animus is really good. We can also play a land, but we have our Arid Archway in hand, so we don't need to do that. Temple of the False God would be pretty sweet. So yeah, we basically, like, we could either pick a land or Sword of the Animist, and I think we're gonna pick Sword of the Animist. Just lines up with the mana that we have. They always make this thing so small. Sometimes it's really hard to find, so we're gonna pay for that. Start ramping a bunch. We do double trigger their stuff, but it's all good. Nope, can't pay for it. Nope. So you get to draw a card, monologue tags, make a treasure, and then we'll Arid Archway. What do we get back? I guess we get back this guy, right? Because we can play it again untapped. Maybe the Surveil land? Nah, we'll get the MDFC back. One of the nice things about bounce lands is you can return your MDFCs back to your hand. All right, pretty good turn. Not to mention Florian's a really good blocker. I mean, he's a 3/3, but he has first strike, so right now he blocks everything on the battlefield really well. So next turn we'll have the City's Blessing, because if we equip the sword and go get a land, we play our own land and we play the Twilight Prophet, then we'll have 10 permanents. So that's an option for us. We can also play Nahib the Eternal in our main phase, make a bunch of mana in our second main phase, and do a bunch of stuff. I think that would be a good idea as well. So what did they play? They played their commander, creatures you control gain haste, and they played Goblin Bombardment. Sacrifice a creature deals 1 damage to any, or this enchantment deals 1 damage to any target. Yep. Kind of weird in their deck. Maybe they make a bunch of tokens or something. Seems like a strange include. Again, this guy is just, this player is just skipping through their turn. Kind of strange. I mean, they technically have found porn, so they could make a fish if that's their plan, right? But they have 7 cards in hand. Like, they gotta have stuff to play, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, they don't have enough for the commander yet, but they are playing. They're starting to play their little flyers, which again, if they get their commander down, become indestructible. Next turn we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. And a lot more if we get Nahib down, so. Put target enchantment card from your graveyard on top of your library. Okay, sure. Who are they attacking? They're attacking me? Why? When this creature dies, you make 2 white spirits. So they want it to die. Okay, no blocks then. I'll take 2. I don't want to give you 2 more indestructible things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next turn they can play their commander. Amonkhet Awakening, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and attach the sword to Balor. Any responses? No. It's now a 6/6. We're gonna go to combat. Now what? Stroke of Midnight. Destroy target non-land permanent's controller. Creates a 1/1 white human. Okay. Well, that does set us back. Sure, sure. They paid for the Esper Sentinel. Is there anything we can do here? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe we should have put the sword on Florian, so we could still get the trigger. Put this on the stack. Done. Draw a discard. Yeah, we'll no, they have the most cards, so hold on. Undo. So we want to put this on the stack. Sorry, Moto is hard to navigate sometimes. So we'll make this player draw a discard. We'll make this player kind of the same thing we did before. We won't get as big of a trigger with Florian, and we didn't play Nahib in our main phase. But all good. Okay, so we're going to... Oh, say they stacked their artifact. Gotcha. They're down to 27. I'm gonna give them, even though they killed my guy, I'm gonna give them a little bit of a break. So we did 6 to you, We're gonna do 3 to you, so we're looking at 9 cards with Florian. That's still pretty good. Okay, Florian trigger. 9 cards. Well, we could just play Glacial Chasm and call it good. We could play Surveyor's Scope. Does that help us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. We only have 3 lands? No way. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we would get 2 lands with Surveyor's Scope. That's pretty good. It's really tempting to do the Glacial Chasm based on the board state right now, but I think the right play is Surveyor's Scope. I don't really want to sack any of these lands, that's the problem. Okay. Do we want them to draw a card? We do not. So we'll wait on Surveyor's Scope, because next turn this guy's probably going to play a land, and then we can get 3 lands, right? Or we can crack it now, just take the 2 lands, play our land, and then play like Twilight Prophet. Is it worth waiting just so we can do that? I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. Twilight Prophet's so good though, so I think it is worth it. We'll get 2 lands, untapped. We'll go get a swamp, and what else? We don't need more red mana. Okay, we'll play Sundering Eruption, untapped. Yep. And then we'll get down Twilight Prophet. Okay, not the turn we were hoping for, but not a bad turn either. All right, let's see what we draw here. Exquisite Blood, pretty good. They didn't play their commander. What did they do? They played Mondrak. Okay, that's another thing that can become indestructible. Okay, let's attach the sword. We'll go to combat. No, we want to play our dude first. Are any of these flyers? No. Okay, Sword of the Animus trigger, go get a land. Yes. More black mana, please. Put you, then Nahib's trigger. Always yield. How much mana is that? 15? 15 red mana? Pretty good. Basically any red spell we pick will be free. We can also play Soul of New Phyrexia, which is really good as well. We can play Smoke. We can play Mana Geyser. That's kind of redundant. Meathook Massacre might be really good, right? Is there anything that would be really good with Exquisite Blood? Descent into Avernus would be insane. Okay, yeah. We'll play you. Yep. Trigger all this stuff. I definitely have mana to pay for Esper Sentinel. What does this guy do? Whenever an opponent casts their second spell, draw a card. Sure. I think we're definitely playing Exquisite Blood. I don't think we're going to wipe the board. Not right now. It's too bad that we can't play like Phyrexian Arena and Exquisite Blood. But Descent to Avernus is insane in this deck if we have it with Exquisite Blood down. Yep. I think I have the mana to pay for it. I guess we'll just always yield to this. And we'll always yield to that. Nothing we can do about it. Okay. I guess we could have, with all that mana, we could have gotten the indestructible, or the thing that makes all my permanents indestructible, and then Blasphemous Act the board. That also would have been pretty good. Didn't think about that line. But this is still really good. Tap the swamp. I guess, okay, hold on. Undo. I guess what we should do first is Valakut Awakening. Since we're essentially, we're gonna play it for free, maybe there's some other play that we can do. I think we can pitch the Phyrexian Arena, and what does this guy say? Prevent all damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures, but not creatures. So Blasphemous Act is still good. I think we can dump Deadly Tempest as well. Kind of want to keep Rakdos Charm in case this guy makes a bunch of tokens, but blowing up their whole board's probably just as good. Why don't we do it like this? We'll draw 3 cards. Okay. Sure. Can we play? We could play a land. Does this change anything? I don't think so. I don't think this changes anything. Womp, Exquisite Blood. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, womp womp. We just drew a bunch of lands. Then what? I guess we play Scalding Tarn and pass the turn. We could just blasphemous act our own board, but it doesn't really make sense. We're going to be getting a ton of life every turn. We're at 34. I don't think we can die, even if the entire table just attacks us next turn. Knock on wood, but I don't think it's possible. You know, they're going to have their indestructible stuff, and they're going to have an indestructible thing, but Descent into Avernus, if it doesn't get removed, is just going to kill everyone. They're playing something for 7 mana. That's a little scary. What is this? Whenever a creature dies, you may have this enchantment deal damage to target player equal to the number of cards in that player's hand. Oh, that's pretty cool. Never seen that before. Sure. Whenever a creature dies, you may have this. So it doesn't have to be their own creature. It can be any creature. Wow. Well, now I definitely don't want a board wipe because they could just target me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times 4 is 44 damage. They could just, whoever board wipes is getting destroyed. Yeah, and they can choose which player too. That's crazy. That's nuts. I really like that card. What a cool card to put in your mono red aggro deck. They're definitely attacking me. Sure, we'll take the 5. Okay, we're gonna gain all that life back though if we survive. So I'm not too worried about taking 5 here. Everything else on the board doesn't fly, so we can block it with Nahib or chump with the human token. I'm gonna wait on cracking the Scalding Tarn unless I need it for Rakdos Charm, because it's gonna make us lose a life, and if everyone targets us this turn, our life total might be really low. So I don't. Every single life matters at this point in the game. Okay, 6 mana. Emria's Call. Amiria's Call. Okay, they make 2 angels. Sure. And then I'm assuming they're going to pay for Esper Sentinel. Yep. Okay, they make 2 4/4s. Dude, this enchantment is nuts. I've never seen Vicious Shadows before. What a cool card. Really, like, cool board wipe tech, right? Like, if you're going to board wipe me, you're going to take a ton of damage. That's super cool. Where is this going? Towards me, huh? It's an indestructible menace. Okay. I think we just double block, right? I don't think they have a way to pump it or anything. So our human will die, but we won't take 4 damage. Nahib has a nice nice toughness. 6 is hard to get through. Okay, yeah, they're definitely putting it towards me. I am the arch enemy right now. So I took 4 anyway, right? Oh, what a good card, man. Sometimes you're just playing Commander, you just see like cool stuff you've never seen before, and you just gotta tip your cap. I'm definitely picking up a copy of this. What a cool card. I typically don't play like creature aggro strategies because they're just kind of, they're one-dimensional and weak to me, but cards like this make me want to play those strategies because you can make them really, you can make your deck a big problem with you know, a couple of different effects like this. You know, like this effect in Iroas would be really good too. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. That's pretty good. They're not playing their commander, which is very interesting. Maybe they feel like they don't have to now because of this enchantment. Lightning Greaves, okay. What are they going to put it on? Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I think we can blow up the Lightning Greaves. I think that's a worthwhile use of Rakdos Charm. We'll just go get a mountain. We don't want to shock in Blood Crypt and take more damage. Is this an artifact? Oh no, it's not. Okay. I was like, I'll just destroy the creature. Yep, you can draw a card. I have no mana to pay. So the white player was saying that they're going to attack the red player. So I probably should have asked. It's hard when you play online because not everyone's responsive in the chat. So I've tried to like politic like you would at a normal commander table in person, but it's really hard to do online. So I've just kind of stopped. But that would have been the correct thing to do, is instead of just destroying that thing, say, hey, I have the ability to destroy it, but if you don't attack me, I won't. We'll do you, and then Descent to Avernus. We're going to always yield. I'm going to gain a lot of life here. Hopefully something big off the top with Twilight Prophet, so I gain even more life. Always yield to Exquisite Blood. So I gain 6 from Descent to Avernus. Back up to 28. Oh, I'm Arid Mesa. Boo. Lame. Okay. What do I do here? I've already done 6 to the table, so I'm going to look at 6 cards already with Florian. I can put the sword on Twilight Prophet. Try to look at even more stuff. I don't think I have a great attack with Florian. I mean, I could attack this player, right? Then they have 2 creatures die and do 10 damage to me. Not great. At least if I attack him with the flyer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I have a ton of mana. Okay. So let's put the sword on Twilight Prophet. We'll go to combat. That's all I can do. I can't risk taking a ton of damage here. Go to the Animus trigger. Do I even have any basics left? I do. Okay. Always good to ramp. Never a bad time to ramp. Hitting in for 3, so we're looking at 9 cards, and we're making 9 red mana. We have a ton of mana. Mana is not our concern right now. Our concern is staying alive. Gain a little bit more life. If someone has a board wipe, I'm so dead. Oh, okay, what do we got here? Oh, Meat Hook Massacre is nice. However, because of this, I can't use it. Oh, none of this is good. Yikes. Yeah, because, yeah, I have 5 cards in hand. This is bad. This is no bueno. I just don't think I can erase this enchantment. I have to get rid of this thing somehow. This will make everyone... Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain 1 life. Yeah, but that 1 life is not going to be enough if I wipe the whole board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times 5. Yeah, 60 damage. I guess Sunspine Lynx is the best one, right? Just to gain some more life. Players can't gain life, though. Oh, it's not opponents, it's players. Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. I'm just gonna get attacked down. I'm so dead. Does this kill anyone, though? Doesn't kill you. Yeah. Can't play that. I need to gain life. I guess we're just gonna play the Pinnacle Monk. I need blockers, but I also need things to not die. I need to get stuff out of my hand. Oh, I guess I could get Malakir. Okay, alright. Didn't think about that. That's something. I can get rid of all these lands. Cast Malakir. Yep. Trigger all your stuff. What I need is like a Glacial Chasm. Hopefully I haven't played my land drop yet. I don't think I have. Yep, pay for Esper Sentinel. They're gonna draw cards and make treasures and all that stuff anyway. Should I also ditch the Blasphemous Act? I don't think it's relevant now anymore, right? Probably, yeah. We can't cast it until we get rid of this thing, otherwise we're just dead. Okay. Any of this stuff good? Orcish Bowmasters. Not really. No Mercy. I mean, that is nice if people want to attack me. Well... Try to get all the stuff out of my hand. Maybe this actually works out. Hold on. I think this might actually work out. I might have to destroy my whole board, but I think it works out. Tainted Peak. I just need to get all the cards out of my hand because this does damage equal to cards in my hand, right? Okay. So do we have enough mana? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we do. So we can Damnation. It'll destroy basically everything except for a couple things that are indestructible. And then they can put all these, they can target me with all of these if they want. It's not going to kill me, but then I can cast Orcish Bowmasters in response and I'll have 0 cards in hand and I'll take 0 damage. Sure, that's fine. Which player's casting this? Is it this guy, I think? Okay. Okay, who are they targeting? They're targeting me. We have to let that one go because we don't want to cast the Orcish Bowmasters into the Damnation. Yeah, nothing we can do about that. These are why protection spells are good. I always talk about that. Okay, let's blow everything up. It's gonna put a bunch of these triggers on the stack. Okay, and then yes, return Florian to the command zone. Now what we should do, we could be cheeky and have them target us with all these, but what we should really do is play Orcish Bowmasters now, so that when they're choosing these, they actually choose other people, and we gain life. Empty-handed, baby. So now if they target us with these triggers, they do nothing. They won't do any damage to us. But now we've incentivized them to not waste these triggers, right? And point them at other people, and we'll gain life off the Exquisite Blood. Put this trigger on the stack. We'll target you, because you're the biggest threat right now. We gain a life. It's too bad Sunspine Links doesn't say opponents, because it would be so good if it said opponents in this situation, but we just can't play this card. We have to gain life. Thankfully, with no mercy down, even though players will have creatures and stuff, they're just going to die if they attack us. So, and we're not going to take any damage right now from Vivid Shadows. What is it called? Vivid Shadows? Vicious Shadows. See, you shouldn't be targeting me. I have 0 cards in hand. You got to target other people, man. Maybe he's just being nice to the table. Maybe, yeah, maybe they realize that I'll gain a bunch of life if they do that, if they target other people. But he could have killed some people if he wanted. So if we survive till our next turn, we will do 12 to the table, gain 12 life, make 4 treasures. We can play Florian, get 12 triggers off Florian. We have a ton of mana, so mana is not the problem. We just need to draw into some of our endgame finishers. It's a weird situation. This card puts us in a big bind. If this wasn't down, that last turn would have been a lot easier. I think with, as long as we don't have our permanents removed, like there isn't a white destroy all non-land permanents or something like that, the combination of smoke plus no mercy, you know, that's a tough one to get through. And then Exquisite Blood plus Descent to Avernus is going to gain us a ton of life if we keep living through these turns. We're at a semi-healthy life total in 31, considering that the only player that can attack us is this player, because everything else is summoning sick. They should, I mean, you should really be targeting other people, man. I have no cards in hand. I'm not the only player that you need to worry about. Ah, they killed the Goblin Bombardment, or they use Goblin Bombardment to kill the Orcish Bowmasters. Fair enough. I think the red player, they're not understanding how this works, or they're smart in the sense that they understand that being mono red, they kind of need these other players to kill me. It's going to be hard for their deck to get through what my deck is doing, especially with these enchantments down. And since they're red, they have no enchantment removal, unless they're running like colorless, expensive enchantment removal. So they kind of need the white players at the table. And so I think they're, I mean, if I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, I think they're purposefully not killing these players off, because they definitely could have by now. There was probably at least 12 of these triggers, right? So, you know, 12 times 4 or 12 times 3, like they could have killed probably both these players by now, but then they have to 1v1 me, right? So I think they're playing this smart, which is like they need these other players in order to get rid of me, and then they can deal with these other players. I think that's their strategy. Now, this is a new card too, the Fire Crystal. So cost reduction, and then creatures you control have haste, and then create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, sacrifice it. It's pretty good. 6 mana is a lot though, but we're at the end game, so it's not a lot of mana at this point in the game. I think they're all going to be coming towards me. So taking 20, I can block. Oh, they have Menace, so yeah, I can't block any of them. But then they're all gonna, oh, they have Indestructible because they're commander, that's right, so they don't die, right? Prevent all damage. Oh no, okay, never mind. Yeah, they do die. Trigger, unless they have a protection spell. They're gonna sack their stuff, okay. It was already indestructible, so I'm not sure why they did that. At least I thought it was. I thought I saw that it was indestructible before. Okay. I think he has it auto-targeting me. I wonder if it's just, okay, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that this, like, choosing target player would happen whenever a creature died, but is this like a curse? Where you have to choose the player beforehand? Because if this works like a curse, it's less good, right? I thought that the way that this worked was whenever it was like a triggered ability, whenever a creature died, you got to choose a target player. But based off the way this is working, it seems like it's always targeting me, like super quickly, like they're not even making the choice, like the game's automatically making the choice. I'll have to look into that, and I wonder what the rules text on this is. It's still good, but it's less good if it only targets one player. It's super good if it can target anyone. It's not clear based off the way it's written, but based off the way the game is playing. Now it is Moto, so Moto makes mistakes too, so it might be stuck in some kind of you know, game loop or something like that too. While this guy's doing his turn, I'm gonna look it up. Based off what I'm reading online, it doesn't seem like it works like a curse. It seems like you can target anybody, which is the way that it reads. So I don't know if that's like a Moto error or if they have it like auto set to me, like they click some option to make it only target me, but I think this can target anybody. That's the way that it's worded, at least. It doesn't say like when this enchantment enters the battlefield, choose a player, and then this enchantment deals damage to that player whenever a creature dies equal to the number of cards in their hand. That would be a curse. But the way that this is worded, it sounds like whenever a creature dies, you get to choose a target player. So it could be anybody, including yourself if you wanted. Interesting. I don't know. Anyway, my point is that if they can choose anybody, they could have killed everyone else at the table at this point. I would have probably, if I were them, taken out at least one player, you know? Maybe like this player, I'm not sure. I'm not sure actually between these two who I would have taken out, but you can't kill me with this, so it's just a bunch of wasted triggers. There was at least like, what, 12 or 15 triggers from this that did 0 damage? Kind of a waste. This card would actually be really good in my deck, now that I think about it. Whenever a creature dies, you may have this enchantment to target player. Yeah, it's a little bit expensive for my deck though. I don't know where it fits in the curve. Anyway, we made it back to my turn. So we're doing 4 damage to each player, so we're gonna gain 12, make 4 treasures. We're only gonna draw 1 card because we had to kill off all of our stuff. But we do have a ton of mana, so we can recast Florian, look at the top 12 cards of our library, hopefully find one that can end this game, or at least gain us enough life to survive to our next turn. Although, I mean, they got like a 10-10, and yeah, and all their stuff's indestructible. So we kind of need we need to win the game now. I don't think we're gonna make it to a next turn. Okay. Quakebringer. I mean, that's a good card. All right, let's recast Florian. Guess it doesn't really matter what we pick. Hopefully there's no removal. That would be a bummer. We could equip the the sword to the army and get 2 more points of damage in and ramp. Is that worth it? It's probably better as a blocker. But those 2 cards could be important, so... How much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So would we go down to 10 mana? That's still a lot of mana. I can't think of anything in our deck that we need more than 10 mana for. So it's probably worth it to attack with the orc. And if we don't find something, we're kind of just dead, right? We'll also gain 2 more life, so not a bad play. Equip the sword. It also takes a land out of our deck. So we're kind of thinning the deck a little bit, and it reshuffles the deck, so hopefully we get a good selection of things to look at. We'll look at 14 cards if we're able to attack in with the orc and deal damage. We'll be sad if someone removes Florian in combat. You know, we won't get the trigger and we're basically dead. Okay, go to combat. This is the only guy who's open. Everyone else has blockers, so we're attacking this guy because he's open. That wasn't obvious. We'll gain 2 more life. Not sure that matters right now, but we'll take it. Florian trigger. Okay, we made it. We made it through combat. Florian's still alive. All right, what we got going on? The Deadly Tempest. We could blow everything up except for all these flyers. We could we could try Boom Pile, but again, a lot of this stuff is indestructible. Fraying Omnipotence. That's definitely an option. That's interesting. Fraying Omnipotence might do it. That might do it, right? Because they would lose 9, you would lose 6, you would lose, what, let's have a 27, was that like 13 and a half, so 28, we'd gain 28 life. They'd have to sack half their board. It's not like the perfect solution, but yeah, I mean, I think that's our best option out of this. I mean, we could also Deadly Tempest, right? But let's check the board, because I believe that this guy's whole board is indestructible. Yeah, because these are all flying birds. It would get rid of the 10-10, but we'd still have a board full of birds and a 7-7. I think it's the Fraying Omnipotence. I think that's our best play. Your opponents can't gain life, so we like that. We can foretell this first to save it. So let's see if we have enough mana for all this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we could foretell this for later and Fraying Omnipotence, right? So let's do that. Let's foretell it. That way we don't have to sack it or discard it. If that wasn't obvious, that's why I'm doing that. Let's play Fraying Omnipotence. We'll use all our treasures. Yeah, it looks like we're 1 mana short of then casting Quakebringer from exile. That would have been dope if we had the mana to do that. But we're gonna go down to 10 and then back up, and hopefully we survive. They're gonna have to sack their Mondrak, which is good. They're still gonna have some scary stuff. It will also take away the resources in their hands, obviously the creatures like we talked about, and it will lower their life. And if we survive, Descent to Avernus might actually start killing some people, because next turn it's gonna be 6 to everyone. We are holding on by a thread. But that's why we love playing Commander. Like, no other format's gonna give you this kind of crazy board state that you have to slither through. It's crazy. Yeah, so it makes sense. They're sacking all their 1/1 flyers. I mean, I think that's an obvious choice. Phase out. Okay. They're gonna phase those guys out. We have no cards in hand, so it's gonna do no damage to us. They're gonna try to kill Florian, I guess. Okay, sure. It's definitely a play you can make. They have 3 creatures, so they can kill Florian if they want. Okay. We're gonna sack our Orc army, because we have to sack half our creatures. They're gonna have to sack their Mondrak, so it gets around the indestructible. I don't know if we get to our next turn, but I think this was the most damage we could have done to the board, plus the most life we could have gained. So it checked multiple boxes, right? We're still probably gonna die because we are definitely the arch enemy of the table, and all it's gonna take is a couple big hits from stuff, but we somehow navigated around Vicious Shadows this entire time, so hey, if we died to people smacking us in the face, fine, but we didn't die to Vicious Shadows. Back up to 19, 25, 39. Okay, then I don't really think we have anything else we can do, right? So I guess we'll just attach the sword to Florian, make it a little bit bigger, and yeah, yield through the turn. Hope and pray. If I'm being realistic, I think we're gonna die to the mono white player. They just have some big stuff. They got, yeah, I think this is, when it comes back, it'll be a 10-10, and this is a 7-7, and they got a bunch of birds. I forget, I thought they had a way to give haste. I know their commander does, but I thought they had another way of doing it. They're definitely attacking me. Yep, there's Goro-Goro. Okay. Yeah, I think he's gonna give everything haste, attack me with everything. Maybe not his commander so it doesn't die, but at least 2 6/6s. And then this player, I don't know if, yeah, their creatures have haste, so like literally anything from them is bad news for me. Oh, they didn't attack me? What? Why wouldn't you attack me with your 6/6s? That had to have been a mistake. Well, that changes the math, because this player, you know, they have 1 card in hand. If it's a big creature, they're probably gonna put it down and kill me because they have to kill me. They're at 6. Descent to Avernus kills them on my upkeep. But we actually might survive. Maybe? Is there a chance? We have 1 card in hand. What is it? That puts it on top of your library. That's not gonna do anything this turn. Draw a card. Okay. Off the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have a ton of mana, so like literally anything, right? Hopefully it's not something that like has 5 red and white devotion. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Has haste, flying, and first strike, so yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. Create a token that's a copy of it. Sure. They can hit me for 10. Oh, which makes their commander come online. They can hit me for 17. Okay. Yeah, I think I got a block. Oh, but they have menace, so I can't block. Yeah, they're all coming at me, right? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they have to. I mean, so we're going down to 22, 29, but then their creatures all die. I mean, they gotta do what they gotta do, right? Who was this attacking? It was attacking me, wasn't it? Your first strike working against you. Yeah, that was the first strike damage. I'm just amazed I've survived this long. What has it been, like 3 turns in a row? Like there are 3 turn cycles where I've had to like 1v3 the table. I just told him that's pretty good. I didn't expect 17 damage out of nowhere. It was really just 10. Yeah, it ended up being that way because of the first strike and the way that interacted with the other permanents on the board. But still, you know, getting me down from 39 to 29 is important. I mean, there's a chance that the white player might be able to finish me off, right? Because we got, what, 15, 16? If they have like a pump spell that gives everything like +2/+2, you know what I mean? Those types of effects are common in white. It's definitely possible. I mean, I think there's an MDFC that does that. So it's, you know, if they're building their mana base correctly in a mono white deck, like they should have options in their deck to pump their team. Okay, so that explains it. So because of the first strike, the creatures, the 2 dragons that this player had dealt their 10 damage first, and then they died, and then because they died, he didn't have enough devotion for Iroas to stay a creature, and that's why I didn't take the extra 7 and go down to 22. So that's why he was saying, if you read the chat here, the first strike was working against him. Whenever a non-token creature is put in your graveyard from the battlefield, create a 1/1. Okay, sure. Just don't overrun me. If I survive till next turn, I might actually win this game. I still got to deal with the red player, but we're going to be gaining 18 life on my upkeep with Descent into Avernus. We'll kill Tuk Tuk. This guy will be down to 3. We'll get to look at 18 cards off the top of my deck. We can play Quakebringer as well, which is a nice little blocker. Okay, begin combat. I'm assuming it's all coming at me. I mean, how could it not? 1, 2... They have 17. If they can double the damage, like give everything +1/+1, or not +1/+1, if they can like double it somehow, give them all double strike or something, there's a chance, you know? I mean, those effects exist in white. This is probably also coming at me. Oh no, it's not. Oh, they're trying to take this guy out. They could actually kill this guy if they realized that this was going to do 6 on my upkeep, but okay. So I wonder why they didn't send their flyers. No, if you're only sending 8 at me, I'm definitely just taking the 8. I only had Florian as a blocker for like all-out attacks that were going to kill me, but if you're only going to do 8 to me, I mean, I'll gain all that life back on my upkeep. And your stuff will die. Yep. Okay. This guy scoops. Which means that pesky enchantment is gone. Alright. My turn? Did we do it? So he gained a bunch of life. Okay, so back to 16. The life gain from this player is definitely a little concerning. And Descent into Avernus definitely gets worse now. So it's a little annoying that this player scooped, because it's not going to be doing damage to them. So now I'll only gain, what, 12 life and look at 12 cards. Oh, this guy scooped too. Oh, no, we just killed them. Okay. They're down to 10. Down to 10. We're back up to 34. We did 6 to them, right? I think we attack with Florian. Yeah, and then play Warlock class and kill him. Yep, okay. Do I have any lands left? Yeah, I mean, let's take it out of my deck. Yep, I do. It's never bad to ramp. Look at all these lands we have because we've been land ramping. Okay, hitting you with a 4/4 first striker. You can definitely put a bird in front of it if you want. Or you could not. Who knows, you know? It's probably fine. Indestructible. Yep, makes sense. So all we need to do is 4 more damage to them. Wound Reflection. Wait, Wound Reflection plus Warlock class does it, right? I just don't know if I have enough mana for that. Deadly Tempest, everything's indestructible, so that doesn't work. Well, Subordinate, Deadly Tempest. Hold on, do I have enough mana for this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 20 mana. I think that's enough. 6 plus 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 10. Yeah, we have enough mana. Okay. I don't think I've ever done this in my life. We're gonna have 2 Wound Reflections down. First Wound Reflection. Wound Reflection number 1. Wound Reflection number 2. Track this last treasure. Look at the top 3, see if there's anything we want to grab. Chaos Warp would be nice as a just in case. And then we'll do it again. A2, A1, yield through the turn. 2 Wound Reflection triggers, lose 12. Huh? Did we do it? Am I? Oh, they're waiting for me to put them on the stack. Is that what's going on? Okay, sorry. I got excited. Yeah, we did it. Yes. What a game. Oh my God. How did we do? I'm gonna have to rewatch that. How did we get through that? What a game. And we would have gained life. I mean, it doesn't matter, but we would have gained the 12 life. Look, we're back up to 40. Oh my God, what a crazy game. That was insane. Wow. That was one of the better Commander games I've played in a while. Good stuff. Well, if you made it this far, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all those things. Turn on the notifications, get notified when I post more content in the future. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. See you guys in the next one. Later.